All right, so about a week ago, I uploaded a video that did not conform to community standards, and I was told that I would not be able to upload any videos until August 10th. However, as some people would say, the bigs had changed their stance on some things, and so I thought I'm going to go ahead and try to upload another video, and I did, and I was able to upload one this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this one out without saying certain words. So you see this here. This is my daughter's. It belongs to her. She's not a teenager yet, so she's very young, and she feels compelled to have this when she goes out into the world because she recognizes that there are some people who are very mean and hateful and will say ugly things to her and call her names. So she's compelled to always have that just in case, even if she doesn't utilize it. Okay, so the other video that I had was basically the importance of oxygen. Okay, so we're humans, we need oxygen. My husband has a health issue that he's had to have monitored for many years now. And so one of the things that they check every time he goes in is his blood oxygen levels. So when he goes into the doctor, he has it monitored, and they've been monitoring it for years and years and years. So since they've been monitoring it for years, he's got in all his medical documents, everything that all the numbers for like the last 10 years or so. And his oxygen levels have always been in the normal range until about 2020 when we started having to utilize some certain pieces of equipment over our bodies in order to adhere to some sort of safety protocol. Okay, so when he had to wear that, his levels dropped. Okay, and there's evidence of that in his medical record. So without telling you the reason why exactly it dropped, I'll just go into the reasons why it's good not to have them dropped. So there's this thing called a hyperbaric chamber, and a lot of athletes use it, and they've started using it in hospitals, and you can actually go to one of these like spa places and they have them there, and you can go in and use those there also, and they're for the benefit that you get relatively inexpensive. Of course, inexpensive is determined by your excess income, if you have any. So, you got to weigh it out for yourself. To me, it seems like they're fairly inexpensive for the benefit you get. But it's a hyperbaric chamber. So this hyperbaric chamber was, they're pressurized, and then they're filled with a certain level of oxygen. And the oxygen, because it's pressurized, gets pushed into your body, either through your lungs. I don't know, maybe it goes through your skin too. I'd done a little bit of research on them years back because I was thinking that it could help my husband with his health problem, which, by the way, has been resolved now. And he's kind of getting back into it. It was like a hormone thing due to a tumor on his adrenal gland. And it was, hormones were being pushed out into his bloodstream at a very, very high level, which was causing his whole body to kind of go out of whack, his electrolytes out of whack, his blood pressure out of whack. But he's had a surgery, and so everything's good. So I was thinking after the surgery, because the oxygen heals, and it heals from infection, bacteria, brain damage from drowning or traumatic injuries. It heals all kinds of issues. You can go out on the internet and find out all the things that it heals, but basically whatever issue you have that's in your body that can be repaired by a higher level of oxygen can be fixed from that. And even children who had drowned in a pool and went without oxygen for a long level were experiencing really good results in repairing their brains from the brain damage caused by the lack of oxygen, as well as traumatic injuries and strokes and all these kinds of things. So there's a whole list of things out there on the internet that the hyperbaric chamber will help with. You can go out and do that research on your own. I just wanted to point to this as a possible means of a mechanism or a route of healing. So even things like infections, which is important right now, okay, because of the thing that's going around, as well as damage caused by having to be on a ventilator. So after the ventilator, you get off the ventilator, some people have damage to their lungs, and they can possibly have some repairing from that, from going into the hyperbaric chamber. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned they have these in hospitals, they have them in clinics, they have them in some of the spas now. You can buy one and have it in your home. They can be expensive. If you get one that's inexpensive, it's more portable, and the athletes use it and they use it a lot. You hear about some people sleeping in these. I don't know if they do or not, but I assume that it wouldn't hurt because it's just pressurized oxygen. They discovered this was helpful when they were putting people in these hyperbaric chambers because they had the bends. And when they came out of the chamber, they just felt better, and they had some other problems that they had were better, and they just felt better. So they started looking at it more as a medical procedure. And then it was so easy to use and so beneficial that they started finding out that it was helpful for all sorts of things. And like I said, the most, I can't imagine a parent having their child drown and then suffering brain damage. That's got to be, among some of the worst things that a parent can experience with their child. And then to be able to simply put them in a hyperbaric chamber for, a period of sessions and have their child almost completely normal again. So when you go out and you're, using some tools that they want you to use that cause a decrease in oxygen levels in your blood, you could possibly be making yourself more sick because decreased oxygen, we're humans, we need oxygen to live. So these tools may not be as beneficial as we think they are, and the problems that they cause may outweigh the not wearing one, the cause of not wearing one. And then if you don't have one, you don't utilize this tool, and you do get ill, you can always go use a hyperbaric chamber. So we pay a lot of money, and I say we as in generally all people pay a lot of money in insurance. We pay a lot of money in deductibles. We pay a lot of money in the money that we give to a doctor after the insurance pays and after the deductibles paid, and the doctor wants more money, we give more money. And then we have to buy medicines, and then sometimes the medicines aren't covered, sometimes they're over counter and they're not covered by insurance. So if you become ill and you decide that you don't want to get medicines, but you want to become better, you may be able to go into a hyperbaric chamber, and it might cure. It may cure. You'll have to go out on the internet and do the research yourself and see all the words that they use and all the things that they say on the websites that they claim the hyperbaric chamber can cure or repair or eliminate or make better or, whatever. So, I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of people, they don't think things through. They don't stop and think, maybe I should do this. So, for example, during the ice storms in Texas, and I'm in Texas, we had the ice storms. A lot of people turned off their water, but they didn't drain the pipes. And the water in the pipes froze, and then their ceilings came down, their floors got, demolished, and they had to call the insurance, and then they got to pay for some of that, and be out of their homes for a period of time while all this repairing goes on. And some of these people, we live in Texas, there's refineries everywhere. So there's chemists, there's engineers, there's all these smart people around here who work in refineries and should know how pipes and things, liquids and pipes and gases work. And this one guy told me, well, the HOA said just turn off the water. So that's what I did. I just turned off the water. And I said, but you didn't drain the water out of the pipes. And he says, well, the HOA didn't say that. And this guy's a smart guy. This guy's like smart. I mean, he's got like a PhD or something in chemistry. He should know how water turns to ice and expands. That's elementary. But he didn't drain his pipes. And his house just now it's torn up, and he's having to have it repaired and stuff. And that's what he told me. He said, well, the HOA said just turn off the water, and that's what I did. And there's an engineer down here, and same thing. And there's, chemists over here, same thing. There's, engineers over here, same thing. Electricians over here, same thing. People just, they don't think, they don't think about what it is they're doing or what it is they're not doing. They're just doing what they're told. And I think this is a problem. And some people say there's going to be a civil war because of this very issues. People just, they don't want to think. And it's the non-thinkers against the thinkers. It's the unwise against the wise. And so we really need to stop just listening to other people and stop and take a minute and think things through sometimes. Because sometimes when we should all know that oxygen is good for us. The oxygen is essential to human life. But yet we do things just because we're told to that reduces our oxygen level in our blood and causes us to become more sick. If you drown, you're reducing your oxygen. You get brain damage. So just think, okay? So that's my video for today. And if you share this, it's probably I'll probably get banned again because somebody will say, well, I don't like what they said. I don't like that they said don't do this or don't. And I actually didn't say anything. I just said oxygen is good, and when you reduce your oxygen, that's bad. So, crybabies are everywhere. But like, share, and subscribe, and you guys have a great day. Get to those hyperbaric chambers.